around the edges, yeah? The guys that are from here, you guys know how to do this. Be the leaders here. And I just want to show some really basic stuff, movement stuff, that everybody teaches and everybody does. But I just want to show you my way of doing it and start the conversation about narrative by showing you guys the psychology behind how I do this. So, people, you should let that man out of his cage.
Let him out?
Yeah. That's Gizmo, man. He's trying to make an appearance in the seminar. Let him in. So I think people see that and they get intimidated. And I don't want the roll to be intimidating. I believe that the forward roll is as safe as walking if done properly. So when I do the roll, I stagger my feet and I create a right angle with my toes and I'm going to squat down. I touch my hands to the floor and I tuck my chin. I think people hurt themselves a little bit on this by ducking underneath or by elevating themselves. And those things cause impact, and that's what I want to avoid when I do my roll. So walking is defined by moving forward without ever disconnecting from the floor. That's walking. Yeah? Running involves me having a moment where I'm completely in the air, right? And that moment creates impact, and that's why runners have bad knees, bad ankles, whatever, yeah? So to make sure there's no impact, I go forward to my shoulder, and that way there's never a moment where all of me is off the ground. So in my opinion, it's just as safe as walking. Does that make sense? I'd like you guys to do both sides. So I create that right angle, I squat down, I go forward, I stand all the way up as gracefully as possible, and then I switch. Make sense? Let's go down the mat. Get as many in as you can, and give each other space. You don't want to collide. It's on the internet. They'll know. People will know.
We'll see.
Beautiful, guys. We start moving our body. We start feeling energy. You guys start feeling energy right now. I like the hair, God. I saw your kid, and he looks exactly like you. Beautiful. So cool. Tiny version of yourself walking around discovering things. That's gotta be dope. So that's Gizmo. I like him already. He's a cool guy. He trains a lot. Make sure we give each other space. Yeah, just once is good. Okay, so now we're going to do the backward roll, right? And I think the backward roll can be taught several ways, right? First, we're just going to do it where we roll backwards and we stand up in a manner that's going to make it easy for us to stand up inside someone's closed guard. So I tuck my chin and I squat to the mat. I turn my head in one direction and I'm going to go towards that shoulder, keeping myself in a ball, and I bring one shin to the floor and one foot to the floor. When I'm here, what I want to do is bring my foot underneath me and shift my weight to the side. I flare my other foot out and I open my knee and then I can stand up. The reason I do it that way in particular is because people have a tendency to stand up by leaning forward. And I can exploit that if I'm playing close guard, right? If I'm playing close guard and I lean forward, aren't you going to break me down? So I want to get in the habit of shifting side to side when I want to get off my ankles, right? I tuck my chin, I sit, I look. I roll, and then I bring my legs underneath me to stand. I don't go forward. Let's try. Starting to loosen up now. Starting to loosen up now. He was like, you're ruining my shot, bro. You're ruining the shot. Just get over there.
I thought they want my face on the camera.
No, it was just your back, though. And it's not your back bare, so they can't see how much you lift. So it's pointless.
I mean, nothing's worse than the one guy at the community tank. He like took off his light meter right in front of the camera and just.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that was.
right in front of right.
How dare you?
Right in front of him.
How dare you?
It was inopportune. That's how I
His magic
describe it.
mic moment.
Yeah.
How dare you? You know, assassin. You know, shark eyes. Don't touch this kid unless you want your arms broken and your legs broken. I'm telling you. He's got that in him. He's got that killer. I hope to let it out.
Or not zoom out.
Beautiful. Come on in, guys. Wonderful. No, not that one. Those guys over there. There's people that are just walking in. What's up? Good to see you. They're like, all right, let's bring it in. Let's start the class. I want to do one more thing, right? So we're talking about narrative. We just did a backward roll. So there's something that could happen in real life in a fight where I can be forced to do a backward roll. And I want to have that in mind too sometimes when I do my roll. Marcus, you're my favorite person to hear. Come here. So maybe, boom! I knock Marcus down. I stack him up. Boom! And I got a soccer kick. You see what he did there? Because he doesn't just train jiu-jitsu to get medals and championship belts, which he has now, yeah? That's not the only reason he does this, right? It's because if someone was beating him up in the street, he'd want to be able to defend himself. So I'm going to take my partner, and I'm going to gently guide their legs towards their own chest. I don't force the roll, because then I might stack him up on his neck when he's not prepared. I let him actually lift himself out of my hands. But then, I fake soccer kick his head, you see? That way he has to cover. That way she has to cover. Because if you don't do that, you're going to do a backward roll or a forward roll in a real fight. You know? There's a famous video of Renzo Gracie watching Daniel Gracie train. And he's like, what is this forward roll? Blah, blah. He's like, you're going to get beat, you're going to kick in the face. This is what he's talking about. This is that moment. So, you can pair up just the person that's right with you, see? This person is your partner, this person is your partner. And you're going to go down, and you're going to hold their ankles and help them roll, but they're going to do it on their own, yeah? Don't stack them up all fast, and don't try to soccer kick them all quick and try to catch them. We're just helping them. We're demonstrating that that could happen, and their hands should cover their face. Does this make sense? Let's do this. So it's going to be 2 lanes down the mat, but it's just 1 for each person. Let's go. How are you? Cool. I'm Darren. I teach jiu-jitsu here. That's good. He learned a little jiu-jitsu. He mostly just hangs out. Yeah, bam! Soccer kicking your friends is really fun, but you gotta go slow it in. Did anyone ask a leg slap? Are there no pro wrestlers here? No, you gotta give it to them that way. These guys don't know. They don't know. Yeah, that's it. In the face. Good. And soccer kick.
How do we go?
Come on, let me get a leg slap. Okay. Try not to extend. Don't lean into your body. That ball makes you dangerous. Every time you extend, you make yourself a little less dangerous.
This is all we got right now. He's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bam!
I feel like the ball is a little better.
Thank you.
We don't like that.
In the face, right? You know, it's fine. You should know.
Good for now.
Yeah! Bruce guy, Bruce
Excuse me,
guy.
buddy.
The timing is beautiful. It's a high level kickboxer, that's why it's so good.
Yeah, I know. I just.
I didn't get the chance to kick anyone. I want to kick somebody.
Hold up.
gonna cover your base. You don't want to embrace the kick. You want to keep moving. You just don't want to move with your hands down. Does that make sense? So I'm not laying and then being like, go ahead and kick me. I wanna lay and just make sure that I don't do this. You see what I'm saying? That's a habit that happens because we're just playing grapple. And so we don't think, oh, I better cover my dome. Like maybe he's gonna hit me. So when we go this way, we just watch those guys. It's like I try to kick, but you're still going away. That's way better. Does that make sense? So you don't want to embrace the violence. You want to get away. You just gotta realize that there could be some violence occurring. Yeah. Both got him. Sandwich. A soccer kick sandwich. That's better than a super kick party. Soccer kick sandwich? That's so good. Alright, so now we're going to use the same system to get our partners. We're going to address one more thing that I think is a problem with a lot of people's jiu-jitsu. And that's the fact that too many jiu-jitsu guys don't have the ability to do basic takedowns. Basic takedowns are a huge hole in far too many jiu-jitsu people's games. And some of those people are capable of submitting people from the guard. And I think that's one of the worst things that can happen to your game, actually, is having a lot of success off your back. Because then that kind of tells you that that's a good spot to be. Like, you'll create that spot to beat someone up. And that's a broken psychology. It's not that it can't be done. In fact, the fact that it can be done is basically why most of us are here. We saw it being effective. We saw Hoist beat people up from the bottom, and we were like, if he can do that, I can do that. And so the guard kind of seduced us into playing a certain way, but ideally, I want to be on top of people. I want to impose my weight and my will on other people so that they break underneath me and I win. Make sense? So in order to create that, I have to be able to take them down. So we're going to practice some basic wrestling drop step right now. The way we're going to do that is this way. Okay, here's your run. All I want you to do is put your arms out like this. Perfect. I'm going to stand in front of my partner, and I'm going to make sure that I can touch them. Does that make sense? I keep my elbows in, I bend my knees, and I'm going to shorten my step with my rear leg, and then step my foot in between his 2 feet. I drive forward, keep your weight, keep your base, just keep your base and walk backwards. Perfect. Now I trail leg. My trail leg comes up just like this. And I'm going to take a walk, 90 degrees. You see how I don't block his legs, I don't trip him? He's like a tackling dummy or a sled. So when I hit his hips, he just gives. And when I change the angle, he gives. Make sense? One more time. I make sure that I'm close enough to touch him, because if I'm not, and I shoot from way out here, don't do anything. This will be hilarious. I can shoot as hard as I want, but I'll never really move him. I'll never move him, and that makes me very easily squished. And the reason that you don't shoot in isn't because you're scared. It's because you experienced being squished one day, and you were like, no more of that. Let's just do this. But that's broken. And we can change that broken psychology with action. So I make sure I can touch him. That means I'm close enough to move him, which creates lightness, which creates a higher rate of success. Make sense? Let's try this, guys. Let's go. Right now, it's like, I don't want to watch this on the internet anymore. It's boring. I don't care. I'm going to teach some moves. I just want to help my friends get better at jiu-jitsu in real life first. Then we'll worry about what the internet thinks. Don't worry about that.
What does the internet collectively think?
They're like, Darren sucks. I knew it. It's just an internet gimmick.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's just a story. It's not real. It's only a story. Anyone know what that on is? What movie that thing? Anyone? It's not real. What? Who said that?
Never ending story?
Correct!
I did it.
That's you? I don't give Burgers any credit. you, Milo, yeah? Alright, come here.
Be good with names.
Remembering that, if you like this stuff, if you like what you're seeing right now, just because you knew that movie, yeah? I'll give you 3 private lessons for free. Each private lesson with me is worth $100.
Alright.
Real talk. Just because you know the never-ending story like that, I'm giving you 3 bills like, oh, just because you know it. What? A trade? Young a trade? By the way, if anybody tells me that they have seen that movie, and when our text goes into the swamp of sadness, if you didn't break down and cry, you're a lie. You're a lie. You cry, dog. I cry every time. Every time. You're a liar. Our text! It's the hardest thing to watch ever. When I watch really silly things, that still gets me. You got it. Our text, dude. What did you do? Cool. People are welcome to come with me. I don't care about the time. I do not wear watches to tell the time.
It's my time.
Exactly. I do not wear watches to tell the time. Yes. Yes, the knee is going to drop, and my head is on the outside of him, so that when I move, my neck connects to him, he moves quickly, right? Yeah, watch. That's good. You can go further. We got more penetration. So like, the way I know how much penetration I'm going to get is my foot being inside or outside. When I go here, not watch. You see?
That's why people are stepping in and touching grass.
What's up, Tom?
Double wrap.
You sleepy, bro?
Always fresh.
Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Look at all these you guys doing takedowns. I'm going to start crying in a minute. I'm going to start crying in a minute now. For real. Awesome. All right, guys, let's have a seat. So, I told you guys that today we're going to be talking about narrative. And narrative, just the stories that we tell ourselves, I think they're very, very powerful. The story that you tell yourself draws the map that leads you in the direction that you're going to go, right? So, a lot of people draw a really crappy map once they're in jiu-jitsu for the idea of self-defense jiu-jitsu. They start training, and they might get good at jiu-jitsu to a degree, and then they'll be like, yeah, I don't need the self-defense, you know? And like, it doesn't really work anyway, blah, 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 blah. And that psychology leads them to go away from training the self-defense, and now their jiu-jitsu is still good jiu-jitsu, but it is entirely self-serving jiu-jitsu. So I want to share with you the story that I told myself about learning the self-defense. And then I want to tell you another story that's going to link it to how you can add it to your actual game. So I learned the self-defense because initially Donald told me to. That was it. There was no other reason. Donald Park said, you have to know this. And so I knew it. But then I started looking at the self-defense differently. And I was like, all right, the self-defense is about my ability to be of service to regular people. A regular person wants to be able to defend themselves. If they can't defend themselves, they may never feel the confidence it takes to truly be themselves in the world. And they walk into martial arts schools just like this one, just like any other jiu-jitsu school in the country, and they're like, I want to learn a martial art. And then we're like, cool, sit on the floor and play this game with us. Eventually, if you stick with this, you'll be able to fight. The trouble is, how many people, like who's a new blue belt? Who's a blue belt right now? Raise your hand. Do you remember like, all the white belts that were with you? Are you like one of the last ones left? Yeah, that's basically everybody's story. You know why? Because that method of like rolling to get good enough at fighting is really hard and people are going to quit. And so they never get what they actually paid for, and I think that's a bummer. So if we know the self-defense, if you're a jiu-jitsu guy that knows the self-defense, then what you're doing is you're learning something that can give somebody else that feeling they need to be themselves in the world. That is the narrative that I tell myself. That is why I teach the self-defense. Make sense? So that's one narrative. The other narrative is, there's a narrative to each move. And when you start to see it that way, it stops looking fake. It starts to make sense, and then you can take principles in that self-defense and add it to the jiu-jitsu that you love when you're rolling with your friends or competing in tournaments and winning. So, the first move I'd like to do with you guys, Rick, let me use you, brother. The first move I'd like to do with you is the move that offended me the most when I first started jiu-jitsu. And that move was, I saw someone say, all right, you grab me by my jacket. This is what I saw. And this is when I felt the way that many of you might feel, that the self-defense isn't for me. The guy grabbed the arm, and he was like, I just go like this, and it's right behind me. Alright? Okay, go do that. And I was like, that's a pro wrestling move, and I don't think that'll work. And the way it was shown, it didn't make any sense. He grabs me and does nothing with the grip. Then I grab him and I lift his arm up with my tiny arms, and then I duck my head underneath it and get behind him. I didn't understand it. And so I refused to teach it until I was a brown belt, until I started actually understanding it. I never taught that move for like 5 years. Just didn't teach it. So what's really happening in this situation? I don't believe that anyone would ever grab you exactly like this and hold. I don't believe that would ever happen. I think if somebody grabbed you like this, they would do the same thing they would do if they grabbed anything else like that. What do you grab like this? Like doors, yeah? So what do you do to a door? You pull it. That's his first time seeing jiu-jitsu when he sees it. I grab this, I'm trying to pull him somewhere, maybe into a punch, maybe into my face. Hey man, hey man. Right? He's trying to move me. And so with that movement, it tells me some things. When a man pulls me, his elbow starts to go behind him if I go in. And when his elbow goes behind him, it's extraordinarily weak. Now, I'm not going to try to lift it with my arms because my arms are really tight. Instead, I keep my elbows in, and I give a little Kupa motion here. And I lift his elbow up, and then I drop beneath it, and I stay tight to him. I want to be close to him. And if he tries to face me, I want to push on his elbow and turn his wrist so that he cannot. And I keep close to this man. I don't let that arm get straight and face me and we fight again. If that happens, you know what we do? We continue to fight. We don't say, oh, that move doesn't work, because there's no time for that. Does that make sense? Let's look at the move one more time. He grabs me. I grab him back. I step across him. I use my hip to lift, and then I bend my knees and I twist my hip so that my hips go through first. If you try to duck your head underneath here, you're going to lose your balance. Does this make sense? Let's start with this, and we'll move on. Let's go. Real quick. Let's drill. Come on inside. Come on in. It's free and it's on the internet. You're on the internet now. That's Gizmo. Here's Philo and his dad. Now you're all caught up. Here's the BJJ hour. Now you know what's going down. Join us. Join us. And we're rolling later too. So don't feel like you're only here to learn now. You can still get your sweat on. No, push it down. Does that make sense to you now? Like, this isn't helping. This is him turning into me. Does that make sense? Be careful. Nice. You're just abusing him Saeed over here. At least you're not a minor anymore. Dang. Gotta be like this way. I'm not gonna have to strength I want to minimize the amount of extra steps. You're doing awesome. I feel like when I grab the ball, I can't grab it. Also, like, sometimes you guys block your outside. And the experience is you start training, you start telling your friends about it, and your friend's like, what do you do if I grab you like this? And then you try to do the move. Do it. Nice try, buddy. That's jiu-jitsu. Shit doesn't work on me. And that's what they're trying to do, right? They close it. Did anyone even experience that today? Be honest. Did anyone try to stop the move? No one? I brainwashed you all? That's so awesome! Alright, I was hoping that somebody wasn't brainwashed. They were trying to stop the move. Because it can be done. It can be done. If they anticipate and they stop trying to pull you and they get their balance and they squeeze their elbow in, the move can stop. But if I grab them and they stop pulling me, then I don't try to keep doing the same thing. That move is for the person who is pulling me. The person who is just holding their arm in place gets wrist locked. Dog, it's okay. I switch because he switches. It's just like the rest of your jiu-jitsu that you're all so good at or chasing to become good at. When one move doesn't work, you don't just throw up your hands. You try to armbar somebody from the guard. They pull their arm back. You, jiu-jitsu doesn't work. No, you try to sweep them or triangle them or choke them some other way, right? The self-defense is the same. It all links together, but only if you train it that way. Only if you're open-minded enough to learn it initially, and then to start to question. Not to question it without knowledge. Think about everything else that gets questioned without knowledge and how dumb people look when they do that. Make sense? So the guy grabbed me, I'm gonna twist my elbow in. He's gonna slide this hand to my wrist and collapse it, hold on to my elbow, keep his elbows closed, then the second hand closes and he advances. Now the most important thing here, guys, is to make sure that when you arrive here, that you can't be shoved. That you have base. Because again, those are the moments that make people feel like, maybe this isn't real. Make sense? So he does this to me, and I collapse everything, and I catch my base. You see how my legs are wide and my knees are bent? So when he tries pushing me off, it's very difficult. He taps himself. Make sense? Let's try. People would do this self-defense if it could work. That's all. They just need it to work. Why try to get them to believe things that you can't even do? So besides jiu-jitsu, is there a place you guys think you want to hang out?
Yeah.
Powerful. Where do you guys live?
Just on the board.
Sick.
Basically,
Okay.
and the reason I came here is because my coach trained wrestling practice this year. He said that,
Cool. Who's your coach?
Coach Warren.
I don't know. Where do you go to school?
Wrestling.
Cool. That's really awesome. That's cool that they mentioned jiu-jitsu. I was a wrestler growing up too.
He said it's basically like
Yeah.
it's like his punches.
That is cool.
Wrestling assembly.
Yeah.
And like we got all the medals. So I thought, since I was your dad, I should come here.
Awesome. Yeah. How old are you now?
Well,
Okay. I put you in a 5:45 class, right? But I think you should join my adult class. Is that okay? That class starts at 6:30 during the week. Yeah. Well, you're not a small guy, and you're smart. You can hang out with us.
yeah, everybody seems really nice.
They're cool. My guys are really cool. I'm lucky that way. I think sometimes in like MMA schools, there's a lot of like, and also a lot of unproven dudes, right? But like, I've competed a lot, and as a wrestler and as a jiu-jitsu guy, and so like, a lot of that like bravado is gone. You know, it's like, I've beaten enough people and I've been beaten enough times to realize that it's just, it's all good.
So it's 6:30?
6:30.
What days?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Are you guys free on Monday?
Yeah, cool. Monday at 6:30? Powerful.
Yeah. I get up at like, I get home at 3:50 and that's the time to like do homework and eat and stuff.
That's powerful. It's perfect. And please, hang out as long as you want. I just wanted to make sure that we connected again before you show up. The sport stuff is about to start up. Scott, nice. Now, you can. It's not wrong, but that's not the one from the curriculum. I like to tie it up. Everyone's doing so awesome. Nice. Guys, good. Have a seat over here. Just make sure that you can't see the smoke and mirrors behind me. I don't teach in the round. From the front. No, not on the sides. I'm serious. I don't teach in the round. I want you guys to see the fitness. As we learn presenting. Okay? Alright, so any questions about this stuff so far? Yes?
I noticed that when you start the first move, this,
Yes.
block the wrist, the wrist got to switch.
I do switch. Julian, what do you do? I do switch, right? I go with this intention, he changes my intention, I have time to change as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just like him doing something gives me another beat. And that's the same for all of jiu-jitsu. That's why moves with multiple steps are harder to pull off than moves with very few steps. Make sense? Because every time I do a step, he can take a step as well. If you could freeze him, that would be awesome. You're not gonna work on that. I don't want to do that. What else, guys? Okay, so back to narrative, right? So just like it's the story we tell ourselves, blah, 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 blah. The story we tell ourselves is also powerful in the game of jiu-jitsu. And I think a lot of the narratives that we have are broken. And I'd like to just share with you guys a few opinions and then show you some moves. So I showed this one pass a long time ago on the internet that I called the Barry Sanders pass. And a few of my friends were like, oh, that's so simple and it's so sick. And I was super proud of it. So I'm going to show it to you. You're going to drill it, and I'm going to tell you how stupid it is. Now, the reason you should drill it is because this situation will occur in your jiu-jitsu experience. And on that day, you can use this move and it'll be really easy. Right? But I'd also like this to never ever happen ever again. Right? Here's the problem. We approach this guy, and he's sitting here. Right? He wants grits, and he wants to play guard, but he's sitting on his butt and doing nothing to try to do something that should be obvious. Because of that, I'm going to take a step, and I'm going to reach for him. In that order. I take a step and I reach for him. He has very little choice but to face me. Does that make sense? If you were to stay here, and I was to take a step, and you were to do nothing, I could just walk all the way around here. Right? So because he faces me, I just push the leg behind me and pass. You see how I close my knee and my elbow together? So it's difficult for him to put his knee and his elbow together and stop this fashion current. Okay? I called it Barry Sanders because he was known as an east-west runner, right? And I'm kind of doing that instead of doing what I should do, which is go forward, right? I step and I reach. As soon as he tries to face me, I push the knee and I go this way. Does that make sense? This pass will work for you against people who don't hang out with us, okay? It's not going to work in our room anymore, does it, Marcus? That's too bad, isn't it? But it'll still work in tournaments, so it's worth practicing. Let's try. Besides, Barry Sanders, this Black History Month, right?
Now it's on the internet and everyone knows it.
Well, they don't know yet why it's stupid. Someone on the internet's like, oh, he's not bad. It does work great. It works great because we all suck, including me. That's why it works so great. Yeah, that's really good. Let's make sure we're utilizing space, right?
Right.
Darren, better if you close on the inside or outside of
I like to close.
Yeah, you want to do this one.
That's what makes the pass easy. I step as soon as he moves. You feel that? As soon as he moves, I just guide him right by me. As much as I talk crap about the move, it's still pretty cool. But it won't work on me anymore. It shouldn't work on any of you. job to make sure people like jiu-jitsu.
They really wanted me to have
Here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6:30. Yeah. And there are classes every day, but you're in school when some of those other classes are taking place, right? I can't tell you the next thing I want to tell you because it's gonna go on the internet. But like, there'll be more classes. Not everything, dude. We're giving them so much right now.
giving them your secret move.
And also my secret that my secret move is crap. But they're not gonna agree.
You're showing him your secret. Showing him his tactics. I'm just imagining Darren as a street fighter player right now. As a grappler.
Other leg, so what I want to do is I want to reach right and step so that when he faces me, I can push him right by and then step. Guys, look, there's a reason for the footwork. And with any move, and you guys that have trained me before know what I mean by move, right? A move is something that doesn't really have the most powerful psychology behind it, but it still works because it's more like a trick. And this is a trick. I'm tricking you right now. It's a move, right? And so when I do a trick, I have to be very specific. Imagine you're a magician and you skip a step. The whole trick's dead, right? Like, you can't conceal your magic now. So there's a rhythm to how I do it. See? So he sits up, I grab his lapel, I step, and then I push him by me and step in. You see? I create lightness on this foot so that I can step, so that I can reduce the amount of steps it takes to trick him. Look at it one more time. Reach, step, push, step. Every single time it has to be the same or it doesn't really work. Does that make sense? If you add a step to that, he's going to add a leg in front of your body. Let's try it for like 2 more minutes. Let's go. Good job. Good job. Where you been on my life? Yeah. Well, that's all right. I know. We'll be back though. We just gotta make sure he comes back right. Guys, if you're having problems with the move, let me know. I'm here to serve you. Well, breathe! Don't act like you can protect yourself. That guy's a Keebler, man. You gotta get in there.
Oh, I know. Get blowing.
This is nice. This is nice.
Yeah, but you're gonna
Yeah, I mean, they say, but it's gonna work when you go back to the guy. It's gonna work. Don't worry.
HIV doesn't survive.
No, I'm more worried about
Are you trolling my stream? You're just saying random things real close to the microphone. Don't troll my stream. Nah, troll away. Do what you gotta do. When they tell your story later on, after you're a killer and you got everything you're about to do, this will be a part of your story. This one time you trolled this podcast. Okay, guys, this is good. Have a seat this way. Right in front of me. You guys are red traffic. All the way, come on. Don't be shy. You can even be in the front. This is your show. Alright, so let's have more moves to do to our friends, you know. We usually do. Same position for you. This guy's sitting down. This is crazy. And sometimes when you try to do this, he's gonna like wrap your leg or something, and then you're gonna get scared. And I don't care how. Yeah, that's good. I don't care how he wraps it, what method he chooses. This happens a lot. Okay? And so one of the reasons this happens is if you're gonna play this kind of game, I can't play it and be tall because right now I'm defending my face, and like just imagine in a real fight, like he's not capable of hitting me in the face right now. He's capable of grabbing my leg, especially the lead. Make sense? So if I'm up here with my hands reaching, it's going to be easy for him to grab my leg as I reach, and then we're going to be in a battle here, right? I could have cut him away if I had just approached lower. Make sense? Mm-hmm. But we live and we make mistakes, and the guy grabs us sometimes. So ideally, I want to already be punching him a little bit here. I'm going to push on his knee a little bit. I'm going to lift my knee up and circle my leg to the outside. And just take a little step around him. Now, we're going to start doing things correctly, in my opinion, right about now. So enough of playing these little games where we're stepping around people. When we get around him this time, for the first time, we're going to try to actually do some jiu-jitsu. And just put my weight on him by putting my head in the middle. Does that make sense? That's where I want to be. This is the most valuable real estate in guard passing and in control to me. I value the middle more than I value anything else. I don't care about grips. I don't care about any of that. I just care about this right now. That's all I want to do. So we're using tricks to get around kids who have already grabbed us. We lift our knee and circle our leg out. I don't just try to circle, because I'll kick his leg. Does that make sense? And like people that know this move, have you done that before? You try to step out and it's like, ah! I lift my knee like a pony or a fashion model. You guys don't know about fashion models? As long as I get Kirsty to pop, I'm good. So I lift my knee like a pony and then I circle it. I step this leg out, sweeping it out, like real martial arts style, right? I'm doing like a sweeping technique, but then I drop my head into the middle. Be careful not to headbutt your friend. Now, when I put myself in the middle, I should be giving him a sensation right now. He should feel like quitting might be a good idea. Does that make sense? If you don't put your weight on him properly, he won't understand what I'm talking about. So ask him, do you feel like quitting right now? If he has no idea why you're asking that, then you're doing it wrong. Are you ready to try? Let's go.
Man, when you first brought him down, I really thought you were about to like pro wrestling pin him. You were in like a perfect position to hook his leg.
Dude, I will return to pro wrestling. In 2016, I will wrestle again. That's a fact. 100%. I had a concussion and I sent you back. I was going to try to wrestle in January. I was going to try it again. But concussion meant I had to take that time off from jiu-jitsu as well. I didn't roll for a long time.
That's 2 DBs with concussion. That's 2 DBs with concussion.
Yeah, man. I don't want to be like young Brian.
I feel like...
You know what? We should do a yes tribute right now. We should look up a yes tribute. Young Daniel. Young Brian Daniel. We should have Saeed do it. He looks like Daniel Bryan.
I feel like he would be an excellent high flyer.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm old. I'm 34 years old. I don't want to be jumping. The problem is that for myself to be believable, I have to do really impactful stuff. And so that would lead to high flying and stuff like that. That would lead to high flying, but I don't want to do that. I want there to be like weight classes at the UFC. I want to be like the baddest dude at 135 pounds in a photo.
That'd be awesome.
Super stiff with it. Super stiff. Young Shinsuke on these dudes, you know?
I'd be all for that.
Good, Darren.
Stop a little bit. Turn your legs up long and step it out. This leg out.
To use that shoulder.
There's a major difference between actually doing a weight position and just laying over this, right? Commitment is a part of guard passing that nobody is doing. We're all so afraid. We're all so afraid. You can or you can step. I like it. I like it.
I don't think so. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
It's just like this way, and then you lower yourself. But it's just the way I'm explaining it. If you turn this way, that's not going to help you because it doesn't help you rotate. It would help you if you counter stuff. Like if you like take this or something. Now like you should have some way you can use your chest back a little easier, right? But it's not necessary. It's about this particular angle, right? In this particular angle, the head is easier. It's faster, it's more immediate, and then you get to put your weight on it. It's just about holding in that moment. As soon as you get outside, it doesn't work.
No, I actually like it.
You see what I'm saying? He's putting himself in that situation. Where now we just take the center at a different angle. So this is just as powerful. Does that make sense? It's just as powerful.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when he goes over there, I try, yeah, like when he goes over there, you can't get a good shot to start to pull him right.
Alright, the next one's for Darren Branch. So, I'm just gonna like let you know what really happens. Like, I don't plan classes unless I'm doing a class. So I don't plan this seminar. Teaching all these things straight off the brain, you know, just straight freestyle, like a battle rapper. I just show up. I just show up. Professor, bars. Yeah. Bars. Oh God!
Alright, I got these ideas.
Nothing's going wrong. You're just trying to win the center a little earlier than I'm teaching it right now. And so it makes it hard. That's what I said. You're blending the steps. You're stepping your way all at the same time. It makes it harder to do. But in a way, you're more direct. Does that make sense? I would change it just to make it easier. Because this is one person that nice! Oh, yeah, you know what you did. This guy knows my moves? Crush it? Did you crush it? Yeah. Guys, good! Have a seat over here. And so a lot of times people see moves that have multiple steps and they're like, yeah, dude, everyone can do something. All moves can be stopped, right? There's some things that cannot be stopped. Like the yes movement, right? This move is a dedicated move. I'm dedicating this move to Darren Branch. Darren Branch, pro wrestler, he just retired recently with concussions. I just got back to jiu-jitsu. I was out for a while because of the concussion. So I'm gonna hook this up for Darren Branch. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna do the exact same. I step my leg up and around, right? But when I get here, I'm gonna hold on to his sleeve and step all the way out. And I turn 180 degrees. Does anybody see it coming? Start chanting yes right now. That'll be really dope, but I'll let it go. Now, I'm just gonna put my shoulder on the ground as deep as I can. Kick over the top. I hook his arm and scooch. And now we gotta do it the right way for Darren Branch, right? We can't just do it like anybody else. So I keep this leg curl tight. I plant my foot, and I'm gonna reach in front of Marcus's face. Spin around. I'm gonna put him in a cross face right here. Okay? Now, this isn't just for Daniel. This is real life too. Because the only counter that I fear involves him looking at me first before he does anything else. Can you look at me over here, Marcus? And now I would roll over my shin until he taps. Yes! One more time. He grabs my leg, I'm sitting on the ground with a mark. I come this way, I grab his sleeve. I turn 180 degrees. I roll, not out, but underneath me. And I kick my leg down hard. You can hook this arm, there's a lot of interesting things you can do with it. Check out my homeboy Andres' DVD for more details. I put his shoulder on the ground, I fold the legs behind me, and I grab this cross face. I do not want this guy to look at me. It's like that movie Blue Velvet. Don't move. And then I come up. Make sense? We did 4 rows at the beginning of this class. I know you can all do them. Fancy moves are really just basic movements glued together in sequences that surprise people. No one's levitating out here. When you see a move and you're like, wow, that move is inside your body. Wow it yourself. Do the move. Don't just be like, oh, I can never do that. It's just a body mechanic glued in a way that you didn't see when you first looked at it. Open your mind. Do it for Daniel Bryan. Why not?
We'll be in touch. Yeah, we definitely do this.
Cool. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
I will see you Monday. Yes. Darren. Yeah, you can take a card.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you, guys. I mean it. Free private, Milo. All right. Hold me to that. Even with everything story. Too many kids don't know that.
That wolf terrorized me. The one that came
The Lord! Oh, they look like small hands. Yeah, man. So funny. You know what I'm saying? That's what this move is. Circus jiu-jitsu. Watch your own legs right there. Watch your own legs. I tried to put it out. Yes. And then this one. Yes. No, I didn't put it on the inside. Yes. Nice job. Look at you. Some big bumps. How long you been training? You know this move already. You know this stuff.
I feel like I'm really concentrating too, but I keep
Stop doing this long. There's a wrist lock.
Stop doing squats.
But every time, like, it never works out the right way with the professor. You're better off with it. Just over there, guys. There's a bottle of water in the corner over there. If you get thirsty, I'm looking out for you, yeah? I don't want anyone to die of dehydration. I live in that time. I find the Guys, how do we feel with these techniques so far? Are you guys getting this stuff? Do you need more time with this one? Yes. A little more time? All right, let's go. What's good for one is good for all. If one person needs more time, one person needs more reps, we can all get better, right? I'll do it. Yeah. Step around. So that I start out with my leg on this side and more back. So it's closer to where I'm trying to go. Does that make sense? Because I'm not going to get I can, but I don't have to. Like, I can go like this to hold this for a second, right? Sometimes when I do that, you move right away because you feel like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to do some shit. So I let it run, tight it. Oh, I lift it up, I get my hit up, and I grab his feet. We'll have basics, that's what I'm doing right now. Somebody step on our boys over there. Until I kick him. Yes. There you go, that's good. That's fine. This grip is fine. And if you can't reach over for the cross face, just this. So we're going to stay right here. Perfect. You can't do it a little more. Good job. Yeah. It's okay. I don't feel so bad. I know you know this move. How are you feeling, brother? Good? Everything's great? Stretch it out, buddy. Nice! In front this way. Questions? Okay, so there's a reason why I don't really like those moves anymore. And it's because I don't think that you should have time to do them. I think the person that you're doing them on has bought a lie about jiu-jitsu, and that lie is that the purpose of the guard is to sit on their butt and to trick me into beating from there. I think the purpose of the guard is to protect me from the person that's above me, and one of the best ways to protect me from them is to actually try to get up. To try to get up. And if I were trying to get up, it's harder to do those moves. But since he's sitting and trying to get grips, Barry Sanders' pass works awesome. But if he's like, I'm the Barry Sanders Darren right now, and he grabs me, and he takes a step, and I just come up. I sidewalk slam him. Does that make sense? So if we approach it differently, as the person playing the bottom, a lot of the things that happen to us, the guard passes that happen to us, the real slick, like real fast passing, it would have a difficult time being successful. If we had a different psychology, if we approach it with a different narrative. So my fear is that we all have the same problem in jiu-jitsu, and is that we truly lack narrative. We truly lack narrative in our games. So I'd ask people like, what's your game? What's your game? And they start right away listing moves they like to do. Moves that they practice a lot. And sometimes a well-crafted game, by most people's definition, is a series of those moves that ends up in a beautiful little like cycle. So that no matter what you do, you end up back in their game, back in their little series of moves. But no matter what, when you break outside of that, that person's game weakens. So they're really like, whatever belt they are, they're like a black belt at knee cut passing and triangle chokes. They're not a black belt in jiu-jitsu. They're a blue belt in stack passes and collar chokes. But what does that even mean? They're just good at doing some moves. When somebody shuts your move system down, and that's happened to all of us, yeah? Don't you feel like you suck? Like you feel like you suck. You feel like you can't even do anything. How many times have you said that? I couldn't do anything to this guy. What really happened was you were trying moves that were already shut down, and you just kept trying them because you had no reason to stop. Like you had no idea of what you were doing or why. If you lack psychology, if you lack a reason for everything you do, you will find a lot of failure in this game. I believe that's one of the reasons people quit. There's no reason for what they're doing. So when this person is standing above me, I'm not like, all right, let me get some grips so that I can trick him. And because I have a psychology, not a move, I have a psychology, a lot of the moves that we practice today would not work on me the same way. You have to set them up way trickier. You couldn't just be like, oh, you're sitting like this, he hugs my leg. Like, I'm not just hugging your leg so that I can do some move. Anytime that I'm sitting here, I am coming forward and up. Forward and up. No matter what. Doesn't matter. So if I'm sitting, I'm not reaching. If you ever find yourself sitting, do not make this your first action. This is evidence of a broken brain to me. Instead, if I'm sitting, I'm coming forward. And if he puts me back down forcefully, then yes, it makes sense to grab to protect yourself. But if I'm sitting up, most of the time, guys, I promise you, and this happened to you in a tournament, right? Most of the time, they will watch you get up. Like they've never seen it before. They will watch it occur. They'll be like, oh, he's getting up. And you'll find that you get a lot of single leg attacks from that position. He takes you down. He expects you to lay on your back so that he can set his grip sets for passing. That happens to him every time he grapples. But now, when he grapples you, you will try to get up. You will get to your feet and you will get single legs. Does this make sense to you? It's a rule for you now. It's not a move. It's a psychology. If I'm on my butt, I will come forward. When you come forward, because of the way that everyone plays, which is staggered and standing up like this, with their chest super far away from you, where you are entirely safe from their weight, they will stand like this, you will come up and take their leg. That is all I want to practice. Does this make sense to you? Let's try it. Thank you, Marcus. The beautiful thing. Sit that knee so good. Is anybody mad yet? No? No. We don't want that.
Please.
Hey, you! That's awesome. No, that's really cool. It's cool that anybody came. It's cool that anybody watched. It's cool that two people who never come here before came here. All of this is really neat. One person watching is successful. One person cares about watching.
Well, like, as is usually the case with videos that people getting people in the walk after
I have to hold you down. And if I do, then you can play all the cards yourself. You have to actually play cards. So if I'm sitting, I can move that leg to the side. Just come up and collect. You see? Just collect. It's yours. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. Everything belongs to you. Guys, really quick! I don't want you to think that this is a technique. I don't want you to think, I've got to come over my head like this, I got to have this position or this grip set when I get there. Those are required to prevent you from taking action. It doesn't actually matter if you are successful with this psychology or not when you do the move. The reason that I think it's really a really unique thing is because when it fails, it illustrates the beauty of jiu-jitsu. When it fails, when I try to get up and Marcus says no, he holds me down, truly holds me down, then I just start sweeping and submitting. That's when you're supposed to be using these moves that you know. Instead, we let him get however he wants to be. We let him get as comfortable as possible, and then we try attacking him most of the time, right? That's most of our offenses. It's all right. You get comfortable, get your base, and then I'll try to kick your ass. Why am I doing this? I'm going to try to get up. And if he holds me down, then the moves will reveal themselves. You don't have to learn moves. You have to learn the beat where you are free enough to move. So every time he tries to hold me down, I'm not going to show you any move right now. You're going to get up. They're going to hold you down. And when they do, I want you to take any action. Try any move you want. Try your favorite move. I bet it works better than it's ever worked before. I'll bet it works better than it's ever worked before. It'll feel like they fell into it because they are falling into it instead of already pulling out of it. Does that make sense? By holding you down, they put themselves at risk. You have to defend yourself from them, not attack them from an inferior position. Let's try that idea. You try to come up, they hold you down, you take whatever action you want, and I bet it works. I bet it works just fine. Hold him down, don't let him get up. He's nowhere near you now, he's gone. So you don't even know what you're going to do. I don't know what to do right now. Whatever I try works. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, the more, oh my God, he just killed him. The more informed you are about jiu-jitsu, the easier it will be to find these moves, because in microseconds, all the moves you know will flash into your brain and your body. Does that make sense? This is not a move, this is an approach, it's a psychology, it's a narrative, this is the story. I will not be held down by another person. I will not be held down. You do not have the right to pass my guard. You have to keep me there. If you force me to stay there, I'm still going to work you. That is the message. Loud and clear.
That's all.
Oh yeah! That was the best move so far. In the freestyle session, she's crushing it. Young green belt. Marcus trying to take the belt. Marcus trying to do some standing fire. Boom! Right over the top. What's up?
I'm just like getting I originally just did it to someone. But then someone and I got Gizmo's face.
Alright, guys! The freestyle session is over! Come back this way now! Yeah, it's a little bit of freestyle. A little bit of freestyle. So now, let's talk about this in closed guard. And I think that everyone has experienced these things that we're going to talk about right now. The feeling of failure. The feeling of failure. Let's see. Ready? One of my closed guard, please. And I'm going to take a guess that every time you play closed guard, it's going to feel exactly like this. I want you to really try to beat me, and I'm really going to try to beat you. But I'm going to use the psychology that I used until like 6 months ago before I hit my head. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. I'm going to try to beat you for real. It's black belt versus blue belt. It's not going super well yet, is it? Like, not for me either, man. I don't have any moves yet. I'm trying to do stuff. He's trying to let me win. I can feel it. I'm trying to do stuff. You let me win. But it still took a minute, right? It took a minute until I even had an incredible attack on him. Black belt versus blue belt. Now, why is that? Why is that? Because he was in good position for most of that time. And why was he in good position? Because all I did was try to attack him. I didn't make him do something that he should have to do. Hold me down. I decided that since I'm laying on my back, I must win from here. Which is what everyone else does with you when they roll. They're here, they grab it, start playing. And they grab the grips, and they do their moves, and they either work or they don't. So now I'm going to try a different psychology. I'm literally going to try it like 25%. I literally want you to try as hard as you can. Go. The first thing I tried worked. Why? Why? Because I tried to get up, and that is all. I didn't do magic. The psychology is what's better. It's not moves. I'm over moves. I'm done with moves. I want to have a psychology that makes sense. And so if I try to get up, I'm either going to get up or he's going to hold me down. And if he holds me down, the attacks will reveal themselves. Do you see? So first, because teaching in a matter of like, just figure it out for yourself, is really crappy, we're going to spoon feed each other some moves. So we can start to feel the moments in which we can use this psychology. The first thing I want is for the person to try to stand up with the common grip set, and I want the person on top not to try to hold them down until they stand up already. So let me use you again. What's going to happen is this. You're going to take the same grip set that everyone in jiu-jitsu takes, that cross-side collar grip. You're going to unlock your guard and scoot your butt out to the side. You're going to get up on your elbow and then your hand. You're going to bring your foot as close to your butt as humanly possible. Now, as I stand up in base, I don't just do this because it takes too long and it's too hard. You see how long my stance is now? I'm awkward right there. Does that make sense to you? When I stand up in base, I literally try to throw my butt in the air. Oh, then I get up quick. It's at that moment that the guy goes, oh crap, and he'll reach for you and try to take you down. You're going to grab his wrist, you're going to pull it to you and open your elbow. Knock him down and turn. Does this make sense? I'm going to stand up. And then the guy's like, oh crap, he got up. That's so weird. And they'll try and take you down. Grab that arm as it approaches you. Lift it and lift your elbow. And then step on your own belly without crushing his neck. Let's try. You know, why not give it to him, Tom? You know, why not tell him off? Why not? Why not? I've decided to not care. I'm not attached to these techniques or ideas. Yeah, grab him, give him a pull, and lift your elbow up. Nice! That's exactly right! She's a killer. She's not here getting technical in the streets. There's no other little girl on the course in those Felipe's gonna win the match, and he's like, ah! It's so awesome. Oh, it's so good. There's lots of pictures of it. He's sitting on top, his knee in the middle, he's like, ah! Super iconic picture right there. What? How dare you? How dare you, sir? Yeah, I like that technique. Oh, right here. Guys, really quick. So, this technique is operating under an assumption that the person tries to grab my legs. Does that make sense? I suppose it's possible. Marcus would do the exact same idea. And I set up like I always said. Alright, I'm gonna pass this guy. You know? You know that feeling? Oh, cool, man. Now it's time to get comfortable right here. And then Marcus starts standing up. And he's like, whoa. I guess he stood up. He could just sit here, I guess. But I think he's going to come forward and try to grab your leg. Wait. And so, that's what I want you to understand. That this arm is coming for you. That's why I grab it. This arm's coming. And when it does, he needs to get a hold of it and change his direction and then change my direction. You see? Now, if he just sat on his heels, there are 1,000 things Marcus can do to you. He can snap it down, take it back. He can just push you over your tippy toes. Whatever. All those things. But I want to drill this, so I want to give the dummy an idea of the psychology behind the move as well. One of the hardest things to do in jiu-jitsu is to be the dummy. To present a reaction without providing resistance. Does that make sense? That's how you become a good dummy. To react, but to serve the move, therefore serving the person that you are drilling with. I always drill with this person's success in my mind. I want to make this person always successful. Because when I'm training, if I experience difficulty when I'm practicing a move, I will lose faith in that move immediately. Immediately. No matter what. Part of me will be like, that move didn't even work when I was practicing. And now you won't try it. So I'm always serving the moves. Honestly, even when I go to a seminar and I don't like the moves, I still serve the moves. Because I'm thinking about this person, not my own shit. Stop. Make sense? Let's go. This is what happens in pro wrestling when someone says something and shit, they just go off the game. Now it's all good. I was backstage and somebody dropped an N-bomb. He just walked up to me and was like, whoop. It was him quoting a joke. It wasn't full arm. It was someone who's ooh, like. Yeah. My bad. They're down with it? Oh, cool.
There's your hate. You're the heel.
Yeah, that's awesome. I thrive on that.
You're the heel of BJJ Reddit.
I feed on that, am I?
I don't know.
Oh, that would be so nice.
It would be kind of cool.
There's only two things that motivate me in this world. One is atonement, and the other is revenge. I need that hate. I need their hate. That's real. That's how it is.
I think that was the first thing you said to us when we had you on. The first time.
I mean that.
Is that why you like Sasha? Besides the fact that she's just excellent?
She's excellent in every single possible way.
Exactly, yes she is.
Boss of NXT, soon to be the boss of WWE. This girl reminds me of Bailey's fan.
You mean the one at every NXT show?
Yeah.
Like it's every...
Finish.
I don't know. body with it, going down. What gets me? Other stuff is on
One of the things that's great is
So now, guys, one of you tries to hold you down way earlier. You know? I think there's like 2 moments that we'll talk about right now. And then we'll open it up for question and answer. And then we'll open it up for open enrollment. You know? Open enrollment, man. You gotta see if these things I talk about are real or not, right? They could be fake. Maybe. So, you're playing close guard, you get the grip, and you have every intention of doing what we were just practicing. Yeah, go ahead. No. Black kiss you, mom. I'm keeping you down. You can't let me do that to you. It's February. It's February, man. Do something. Do something. Let me show you what to do. I don't want to train there. He's racist. So I try to sit up, and he pushes the tallest thing to flatten me. It's a common reaction. I'm coming up, he pushes the tallest thing. When I feel that push, understand that that is the arm position I've been waiting on my entire jiu-jitsu life. I was always told that someone was going to do this one day, and they never did. You know why they never did? Because I never tried to get up! But now that I'm trying to get up, he does it. So I rotate that, take his arm off. Instantaneously. Because he's doing what I was promised someone would do. Make sense? So again, I want you to do it slowly at first. You start trying to get up. Later. Wait a second. Give him more time. Let him try to get here. If he pushes when I get to my elbow, it's easier for me to resist. So it's in between the time that he chooses, do you see? It's in between the time that he chooses and gets his weight onto his elbow. If he pushes me during that time, I take my head, button push, whatever, and I turn it offline. I kick this leg up and I turn my toes this way and my heel goes past his shoulder and clamps down. This leg is going to go right past his beautiful face, and then I clamp everything down. The clamp is the most important part here, and then I slowly complete the arm lock. I want you to go slow so that you feel that that's the proper beat to do this. If you're flat when he pushes you, you could do it, but it's harder. I want to do it on the way down. That's when you catch him and it's super nasty. You want to catch him on the way down. Does that make sense to you? So again, play the bottom. I drill this with the mindset of I want to help this dude get it. As he sits up, but before he gets his weight to his elbow, I push. Oh, snap. Makes sense? This is not the only thing he can do, guys. But it's coming. It's coming. Let's try. Yeah.
There's I lose all the time right here. I'm in close guard. I'm really in close guard. Get up, I can't like scoot down this way. You know what I mean?
Yes. But there's really no reason for you to go. I want you to go. Yes. Because when I go to open you, there's a moment where you can't move. It's a split second. But you have to hit your hips on the ground to really be able to move. So you would rather be here. Yes. That's why it feels hard. It's sure to tough spot. I understand though. Because we have short legs, we fear tension on our feet. So we get as close. Yeah, I understand. We get as close as possible because of that. But that's not really going to be all end all.
But you want your hip on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, you go.
We're playing guard. Bang! You know American Armor? You know about this? You're about to know. You're about to know. Bang! It's called lights out. It's called peace out. It's not so my For a split second, he thought maybe I had a back. For a split second. But that's how she is. So you don't want to go like, clamp down whatever. Especially if I feel like I can't move my knee anymore, move your foot. Always. You can't move your knee. And it gives you so much more power. Does that make sense to you? It's not smoke and mirrors, but so like when you rotate, right? So I start to sit up. When I feel that pressure, you're gonna move your head off mine. You're gonna kick here. You feel the difference? So it's not you see, it's not this moment. It's here. It's super different. Super different. Try it. Yeah, focus on that foot detail. It's the shit. Down earlier. He's holding you down. Is it okay?
It's not ideal. It's free. It'll still work.
But every time I do the armbar, I like to go like this. Does that make sense? If you're armbarring, you look at So what I want you guys to do is keep your foot past it. Think about it like that, yes! So like keep this foot past it like that. Feels different, right? When I'm here. And so you talk about is really scary.
I never get up like this.
That sounds right. What everyone knows.
And that way it works better against a big strong.
But it's not the clamp that makes it so beautiful. It's nothing else. It's not tight moving. Well, that's an illusion. Alright guys! One more technique! That's nice. Tom said I feel like I'm 500 pounds on my arm bar. In drilling. Yeah? Good. In drilling. In practice, my arm bar is still evolving. You know? A lot of it is, I didn't believe in my own guard until black belt. The truth is, I didn't really have a very effective guard. I was guard passing, takedown guy, right? My guard wasn't very effective because I didn't put the time into it. So the tricks that we're all using, that we all use every day, my tricks weren't highly evolved. And then I stopped using tricks. Once I stopped using tricks, my guard started becoming more and more effective, higher and higher percentages of success because of method, you know, not just moves. So now, what if the person's even earlier? They hold you down differently now. I'm choosing all black people, that's weird. I didn't mean to do that. All right, come on. So Marcus starts sitting up, and I'm like, shit. Shit. I don't wait until he starts getting that same grip set. He starts getting up, I could have pushed him. I could have let him come up faster. Go ahead. And then tackled him, right? But this time, this guy's a little bit smarter in the sense that he recognizes this guy's trying to get up. So he tries to get up, and I bury him. This is how most people will bury you. You know, they will lean on you with their shoulder, and this arm will be exposed. I promise you that. When I was demonstrating this before, was that you? The first thing I did, boom, rotate for the shoulder lock. I didn't think about it. It's what everyone does. So that's the next thing I want you guys to be ready for. I'm starting out with the psychology of when I get my grip set, the very first thing I'm going to try to do is get up. If he holds me down, if I thought that the move was to get up, you're going to experience a feeling of failure here. And that feeling will cause you to be like, ugh. And give him a beat to get his posture, and he'll be back to being just like everyone else. But instead, if I sit up and he puts me down, I see that as what it is. An opportunity to do another move right away. I turn my hip, I put my foot on the ground. I bring my bottom leg underneath. And I lock my triangle here. Omoplata. One more time. You get your grip set, and you just start trying to get up. He says no. He doesn't have the right to hold me. That's in a fight, that's in self-defense, and that's in this game. In this game, I don't even believe that he's here. It is only me. He's going to lose as long as I do the right things. I am the director. I am the actor. I am the executive producer of this movie, and he is a tree. He's an extra in my movie. But I have to make that true by taking action and beat what he's not willing to take action in. I put my foot on the ground. I scoot. I lock that triangle. And now I'm in the omoplata situation. And we can talk about finishing omoplatas, or you can just go cop Andres' DVD. It's probably the best thing you can do. I'm just showing you how to get into it in a way that makes sense with the psychology that's consistent with any kind of fight you will find yourself in. Does this make sense? So now he's earlier, and for his troubles, he will get shoulder locked. Let's go. We shouldn't even show a finish. I should make you get that DVD. Omoplata Palooza! Downloadable now! Is this camera live right here? This is the live one? We should be like, go cop Andres' stuff right now. You know the link. I know you follow Keenan Cornelius. Keenan shared it. Just look at that. Go share it. Go buy it. Give your money on Andres. I know you follow Keenan. I follow him too. Does that make sense? That's not really the thing. I'm doing moves and tricks and that. Does that make sense? What's really happening is you're telling me not to do that. I come here and I try to do my own moves and you say, no, this isn't moving. I should listen to you. You see what I'm saying? I should be like, okay. Come on, if I just do this. You go find yourself. Does that make sense? Like, I'm open-minded, dog. I'm just saying.
Put it on the mat. Now I'm in a pretty good position, but not great.
You know you don't want to do this.
Yeah, I'm either going to grab it here. I'm probably going to grab it and put my weight on it. You want to make it feel here? Okay. That's it. I can grab my weight on it. Anyone.
Keep going to the place right now. Does that make sense? Guys, I've gotten this question more than once, and I guess these guys saw the smoke and the mirrors. They were like, yo, what if I can't get my bottom leg out? Now that's a problem that I've had as an omoplata guy. I've had that a million times. In different stages of doing the movement, the person locks down on your leg. So, no. Let's kill two birds with one stone. What?
Hillary Clinton.
No, I'm saying this is my friend. That's the bird. So she starts to go, like she sits up, I hold her down, she goes, and I'm like, wait a second, not today. And I keep a hold of this. And I'm tight on it. And it's hard to escape this sometimes. Right? And if we're flexible, it's easy to get this leg over the face and then we can start doing shit. So I set up every intention of hurting you. And then you hold me down. I scoot out, I go to kick my leg, and then she locks down my bottom. If you're flexible, maybe you can just bring your leg right over. Right? If I insist on doing the omoplata, which in my belief is the wrong move right now, because she's making it difficult for me to do it. So I should be doing something else. Right? She's keeping my knee at this angle. There are a million things I can do to agree with her that would still hurt her. But let's say I still just want the omoplata. I'm going to push her face away, and then my leg comes over easily. And now I use that leg to pick her up and off my leg. You see? So if you're an omoplata person, if you need to feel like I can get that move, I need that move, you can still get that move. You can have the other leg. It's not a problem. Right? Maybe you should do something else. Maybe you should listen to them. Like I said, guys, this way of doing things isn't about the move. It's about the feel. It's about the feel. So when I come here and she holds onto my leg, by the way she holds, she tells me what to do. Right now I feel like I can just turn my knee all the way over. Because she wouldn't let it come out. So I just turn it inside like she wanted. And now we're here. She's tapped out. Does that make sense? But if she held it differently or at a different moment, I would use something else. This person will tell you how to beat them. The question is, are we actually listening to what they're saying so we can beat them when it's easy? Or are we just trying to impose moves that we like? When you try to impose moves that you like, you will find that the failure rate is very high. And that failure rate is the reason that your friends will not be black belts with you. We can start to decrease that failure rate. I believe that. Does this make sense? Let's drill this for 2 more minutes, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, cool. Let's see, my favorite martial arts book. Yeah, I would honestly, I recommend, it depends on what you want out of jiu-jitsu, honestly. Books-wise, get Elio's book, because it's good to know what the dude who like is kind of the reason for the season thought about everything. It's good to have that as like, not necessarily as like, I must be like this, but you gotta be knowledgeable. Because people are critical of stuff that they don't know about. They'll be like, oh, that stuff, Elio stuff, that's old. Well, do you know it? Because maybe it's old for a reason. Maybe it's old and it's pretty dope. And then I would say Salo's book, in terms of the competitors' books, is the best put together book. Like, I think it's the best book for jiu-jitsu. Like, if I was like a competitor hobbyist person, that's the one I would probably get right away. Jiu-Jitsu University. Wrist locks? I like wrist locks. I did show wrist lock setup. He's late for the podcast, so go to the beginning. Yeah, there's wrist locks all over omoplata. Anytime you have the omoplata, the wrist locks available. But again, I would tell young Theodore Erickson, Theodore? Get Andres' or CD.
All right.
You're doing super awesome. This is a really long class. So powerful.
Yeah, at this point, if you're stuck on my arm, leg, you go.
So like, I'm not worried about any defense. There's always something to do.
Right now, I do it. See, I put my feet last year, so I want to do, I don't want to move my fall away. And now, I think I can raise my hips up.
that little tighter part.
This.
That's what's gonna help
I
him.
gotta get my legs out of the
Does
way.
you want to control that leg? Does that make sense?
I wasn't like. I was trying to do it like. Well, just like slowly, right? So it's a tap. Yeah, obviously if you come down on No, really. You do.
Yeah, you've always been right about me. You've always been right about me. That's why you were smart about it.
I got it there early.
So guys! Come this way. Again, I really do not like to teach in the round. So, I'd like to thank you guys for coming to this place and allowing me to just teach from my mind to you, teach from my heart from you. Like, I don't like to prepare classes, and I spent like a few hours over the past like 10 days trying to figure out what I was going to show today. And I was like, oh man, it's gotta be. And then I was like, it's just gotta be honest. That's it. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be honest. And so I decided not to come up with anything. Just to show up here and to give you guys something from my heart. And this is the only truly good thing I believe I have to offer people. Is this energy exchange on a mat. It's the purest thing in my life. And I just wanted to give that to you on a day that's important to me. The reason that we did this seminar today is a very personal thing. And I lost someone very close to me on this day a few years ago. And this weekend, every year, I'm thinking about that. It wears on me and it makes me make some bad choices in my weakest moments. And so I was like, instead of doing that, I want to make sure that I give some energy to people on that day. And that's important to me, to like change the trajectory of my own life through jiu-jitsu. Like, I believe that jiu-jitsu has that power. And if I'm going to believe that, if I'm going to talk that stuff, right, if I'm going to say that, then I need to be one of those people that's actually manifesting it in their own lives. And so that's what this seminar was about. That's the reason it's free. That's the reason I asked you guys to come. I didn't want to like tell people like, you're going to come to this seminar because it's for my dead girlfriend. Because then people would show up and be all sobby and mopey, and then like I wouldn't know why they were really here. So hopefully you guys just came here because you love jiu-jitsu. And you wanted to share something with people, and I'm glad that we all came together today. So thank you so much for being here. Now, the other way I want to say thank you is to offer myself in every way. So instead of questions about like, you can only ask me about stuff I taught today, like stuff on the internet. Now you guys can ask me anything. If you have any questions about anything in jiu-jitsu, I'm willing to answer. Anybody got a question? What's up?
Everyone I train with from the beginning to now has always been like too fat to deal with like a body triangle from the back.
Oh, dude! Oh my God!
Every time I ask them, they're like, body triangle? That's Darren. Ask somebody else.
I get body triangles all the time, and you know what really sucks? See, like, come here, right now! See, like, you getting body triangles is interesting. I'm motivated in my life, in real life, by two things: revenge and atonement. This seminar is evidence of one of those things. Atonement. Right? Now, you get to show something else. Revenge, I think, motivates a lot of people's jiu-jitsu offense. People that are really good at guillotines, I believe got guillotined a lot at white belt. People that are really good at arm bars, I believe got arm barred a lot at white belt. And then they're like, I'm going to become an arm bar machine. Now, I get body triangled a lot, but my legs don't really allow that revenge to take place, but your legs. There's so much revenge in these legs. So we're gonna show you how to escape the body triangle. That's what your main concern is, right? Then we're gonna talk about using it, and then you're gonna have a wonderful life. So the way that I like to get out of the body triangle is I like to put my weight on this leg, right? And sometimes it feels like that's difficult to do. Like, so first we'll make it easy, and then we'll say, oh, now that's making it hard. So the first escape I like to try is I put my weight here, and I put my weight on your bottom knee. You see how my elbow holds onto it? And then I move, and that opens it. Now my only concern is this little space of you right here. I don't give a shit about any other part of you. It's the only part of you that's of value to me. The inside of your knee. So I put my palm there, and I hold the rest of your knee. Now what do you think you want to do right now?
Try to come up somehow.
Do it. He wants to get the mount, right? Let's push on. Stand up. Lift that with the body triangle. So, that's really great. But sometimes, you try to go there, and you feel like I kind of post, and it's like, I can't do it. Oh no. It's because you're going right at this instead of over it, and then you can get it. And when you get it, don't make the mistake of not valuing this moment. This is what matters. This is what's going to get you all the way out, not just like kind of out where now I was body triangled, but I mounted. And then me and every other instructor will tell you when it happens to you how you have improved. And that is true. But wouldn't it be great if you just didn't get mounted afterwards? So the mount is defined by both of his knees being on the floor. So you stop that from happening, you won't be mounted. Make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Uh-huh, for sure. What else? Don't be shy. What up, Rick?
You need a Darce escape we were working on?
Whoa. The Darce escape. No, I'm kidding. You can do it. Like, alright. So, no, I'm going to tell the whole story. I'll hook you up with the Darce escape.
I just had there's one window that I'm not sure of.
Let me see. So, Marcus. So you're on the bottom. No. It's on the bottom. Marcus has you in the Darce. Yeah, so what's going on now? Yeah, it's not back. Your elbow's not back. That's why you're having trouble. You're trying to turn without moving him, right? So guys, raise your hand if you're aware that I'm having Henry Akins here. Okay. Keep your hand up if you're already registered. If your hand is up, you're doing the right thing. The rest of you are all screwing up. On a deep level, I mean it. Like, so Henry shows me a lot of stuff, and I share it with you guys as I understand it. You know? But what I don't like is when people just use people's moves to get over. You know? And so, like, that's not what I do. Just want to be clear with the internet. You know? But that escape is profound stuff. It's profound. And therefore, it's very difficult to do. And it's exactly the kind of jiu-jitsu that makes people feel like they can't do it and they just go back to doing whatever internet tricks they already learned. You know? So it's very particular.
I'm sorry, but the question I had was like, after you sweep them.
Oh, no, fuck that. You can't ask me that question. Because you're not sweeping above. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so we gotta make sure that you don't get choked. Like, you can ask me whatever, but I wanna make you successful. Does that make sense? Like, I love you, dog. We've been together for 10 years. Like, I wanna make you successful, so I don't care if you have a question about the sweep. I gotta make sure you don't get choked by Marcus. Marcus is a nasty Darce. So, the Darce is here, we're in half guard, the guy locks it up. And when they lock it up tight, it feels like a death sentence. So much that a lot of people stopped trying to get underhooks and half guard in the bottom of side control for a while. Like, this was going down like when I was like a purple belt. Darce got super popular. And like, everyone's like, no, don't even get that underhook. Just take elbow tight. Well, why not? Well, who's gonna Darce you, man? You reach for here, he's gonna Darce you for sure. And that was true, man. I got Darced a bunch. Then young Henry showed me this technique, and I'm gonna share it with you guys now. So, we're here. I'm already in the situation. This isn't one of those, like, don't let him answers. This is, it's on. What do I do now? Well, I make my body stronger. We're told not to use our strength in jiu-jitsu. That is a lie. I should not misuse my strength. I should not spend calories frivolously. But using my strength means putting my body into a spot where it is strong, period. Not spending my physical energy pressing and pulling. That's using your strength. No, that's a misuse of strength. That's you not valuing your strength and throwing it around. Valuing my strength is when I drop my shoulder and that Darce grip pops off. Take a close look at that. So Marcus has the grip. He's not trying to let go. I drop this shoulder and pull my elbow back. The grip goes away. Now I keep his arm. And now I bring my feet this direction and scooch my hip underneath Marcus and put my weight on him. And I like to swing this arm underneath, but there's no guarantee that you can do that part. Who knows what happens next? But this is the key. And so like, if you do like yoga or powerlifting, bench press, you've done that before. You're just dropping your shoulders and getting better posture. So the Darce works because we live in a broken body. You live like this. Each one of you right now. Me too. You live in this broken body shape. And it's really easy to beat this shape up. This one's hard to beat up in a lot of different positions. This idea will serve you really well in defending things. You know? So, let's get this shoulder thing. And then you can ask me anything you want. So we're here. I go for the Darce. And I'm going to lock it. And it's pretty tight right now. And I could choke you. Now pull your elbow backwards, brother. Drop your shoulder. Don't twist. No. See, when I say drop your shoulder, you think, yes, that's it. So don't just throw yourself to the back. Drop it down out of here. So, now we're here. Drop that shoulder, elbow back. You're pulling away from me. Stay here. Just move the elbow and the shoulder. That's all I want to feel. Yes. Do you feel it's different now? Keep pulling that elbow back, right? Keep going. Yes. Now grab my wrist. Now, move your feet close to me. Keep everything else the same way. Closer. Move the feet. Yes. Now scoot the hips underneath me and turn. Yeah. That felt powerful. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. What else? No, I swear to God, man, if that don't make you want to train with Henry, I don't know what will. Like, if you don't think that jiu-jitsu is different than everything else you see on YouTube, then you are drunk. You are drunk. It's different. It is truly profound stuff that dude is showing. And still nobody knows. When I first found out about Henry, I looked at his videos, and there were 80 views on his stuff. 80 views of the best teacher on earth, possibly. And then I look at one of my videos that I'm disappointed in at like 250 views. And I'm like, who the hell's spending their time watching me when they could be watching Henry Akins? Not that I'm mad about it. I'm not hot about it or anything. Yes, Stevie? I don't know. Like 4 songs, maybe? When I say young, everybody. Young Rick, young me, young you, young shark guys, young everything. He's a murderer, be careful. Any other questions besides how old is Henry? What about how many hours in that I sleep? How to make a energy sandwich?
I got a question.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with the gi or like in real life? Okay. That's not a question though. What's your question? How to do it? Is that the question?
Just step by step.
Yeah. Alright, can I get you? So for me, the way that I get this most high percentage, it starts in the north-south. Right? Because it's just the easiest for me to get the grip set that I feel most comfortable with. So if we're talking gi, we're talking game. So oftentimes when the guys north-south, he'll take his ninja chops here, just make some ninja chops right with my hands. Straight up ninja chops, exactly. And then go get my armpits like this. And the guy's like this, he uses his elbows to pick you up and all that, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dive my elbow in here and then bring my arm underneath. And just walk back. Watch your thumb, brother. Watch your thumb, don't get it broken. You feel that? Yeah, move out of the way, it's all good. Yeah, it's natural, that's what you would do. Now I bring my fingers underneath. And I grab here. 4 fingers. Now, in real life, I want you to put your shoulder in this guy's chest so that you feel the presence here. I keep my hand and my knee close together and then I drop them down. My elbow goes down first. Notice that my wrist is just past him. It's not super, super deep. This is a big mistake of mine. Because now you can't truly drop your elbow. My elbow goes to the mat and then it opens to his ear and I flex up. Don't hang out there. Don't fall asleep in my arms, you're not my wife. But I'll put you all the way to sleep if I with it. Yes?
I guess mine more specifically from, say, the side control, I guess
Show me what you mean. Show me what you mean. Lay down. So if you're in side control, and the guy gets this underhook, yeah, you can go right here. Right away.
Do you go north, south, and then?
No. If he reaches here and he lifts his elbow off the ground, go for the grip right away. If his elbow's on the floor, he won't have the grip right away. Turn his face, and he'll give it to you. Do you feel that?
You're going in for that choke.
Wait, what? Yeah. So his question was, when the guy gets that hook, that's when I would like to do the straight away. Just like this, drop, open sesame. Now, if his elbow stays on the floor, you can't get your hand under there. So I make him turn by putting my hand right on his shoulder and starting to lift my wrist. Guys, you should feel that shit. That's an interesting position. I do this for everything in side control. This is what I do to everyone I know. If you've rolled with me in the last 3 or 4 weeks, you felt this, yeah? So, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I push my elbow down, but then I lift my wrist. It's profoundly painful. It's not like he's a worker to a degree, but he ain't working right now. Felt that?
I don't understand the motion.
Feel it. So, I'm kidding. So the motion is elbow starts to go down, but then your fingers are gonna get heavy and create an elevation of your wrist. You feel that? So like people think it's this. That's what it looks like, right? And that doesn't work on anyone. Like just try. So did you feel where my arm was? I didn't even do it on purpose. It's like it's subconscious now, which I'm kind of proud of in an indirect way. You're not gonna be able to do that to me. Do it again. It's so weird. Alright, so I'm gonna be able to get out, and I'll tell you why. It's because of that. Unless you win this point, you have a huge chance to get out. And most people aren't gonna try to defend this point. But you weren't defending that point either, right? You didn't recognize you'd done anything that would let me out. So the guy's here, and I'm holding this tightly, right? I got you, right? What I want you to do is keep this elbow against your body. Don't give me this armpit space. If your arm is right here, it's fine. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stretch this arm at my leg as you kick your legs out and tuck your elbows to the floor. Boom. Does that make sense? If I get this armpit, you're dead. If I get this armpit and I get the lock, you're dead. Until you can get me out of there. Does that make sense? But as long as I'm not in there, you can be pretty late. You can be pretty late, yes. The guy catches, he thinks he's got you right now. He's gonna pendulum out and tuck your elbows to the floor. Now, the more you can create a pendulum with your legs and a stretch that matches the speed of your pendulum, the more dynamic the escape will become. Do you see? Helpful? So you fight for this in that position. When you think he's going for it, everyone grabs something. Grab something, and then they get tapped. You're just delaying with that grip. Protect the space that's gonna allow you to get out, and then get out. Yeah? I step my foot into it works. So when you're attacking this Kimura, instead of worrying about all this, I step my foot right here and I drag that thing and then I sit up. That's the space I value. The grip is abundant. That's why the Kimura is available everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The Kimura is one of the most abundant grips in all of grappling. It's used in all kinds of forms of grappling. Super abundant grip. So don't worry about that. Make sure you can hold that kid. And the key to holding is that bottom shoulder. Anything else? Come on, guys, come on! Yeah. Yeah, what's like? I can't help myself.
You showed here?
Yeah.
And the rest line?
Yeah.
How do you think you gotta take the rest of your things?
I can't sometimes, man. You'll find that you'll go here, and you'll try to get this, and sometimes it fails. Now, if you're putting pressure and you give him a slap, that usually helps. Like, it being kind of violent, you can also hit him with the edge of your wrist to make him fold. That makes it sometimes a little easier, but it's taught like this or like this. Right? But if it fails, like I go here, and the wrist stays straight, I just collapse straight on top of that thing. I don't care. You know? But to do that, you gotta make sure that you have that wide base. Because when I start pushing on it, he's gonna push me. And if I'm like this, or like this, he's gonna make me take an extra step. So I don't panic. If I go here, he stops me. I go here, wrist stays straight. I'm like, nah, come on. Just bring my weight more. I believe in the ninja chop. I don't want to go over that today. Maybe that'll be the next piece. But if you don't believe in the ninja chop, I can make you believe. See you in 6 weeks. Anything else, guys? Alright, so here's what I want to do. This is originally supposed to be an open mat. Our Saturday noon to 2 is open mat. So I would like that to be the case now. Until 3 o'clock, you guys have open mat. At 3 o'clock though, all will be off the mat because the private lesson will begin. And that person deserves their time, you know, they're paying for this. They deserve this free time. Thank you so much. Let's line up. So let's line up my belt. Let's get my white belts over here. All the way down to brown belt. Come over here. You're the star. You stand wherever you want. You stand right next to your dad. You stand wherever you want, superstar. For real. You want to go there, go there. That's your dad. That's your dad. This is your house. We're here to serve you. So guys, again, thank you so much for being here. I'm amazed at this turnout. Like, whenever the weather is cold or snowy, people tend not to do things. People tend to find a reason to stay in the crib, you know? So, the fact that you're here today means a lot to me on a deep level that I'm not going to try to express right now because it's that crap. I want to show to all of you about the game. Shake each other's hands. Just follow that line. Just follow that line. You'll see what's happening. What's up, bud? Good job. Thanks for being here. Okay? What's up? Go!
I know, right?
You're a cop for the line, right? You can know what's happening. Just give it class and go. Does that make sense? Does that help? Does that make sense? The question the answer? Thank you, man. You're on my best. Come on, dog. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Anyone really. Like, most of these dudes I know really well are really good. There's a lot of tough dudes in this room right now. For real. Even like sometimes you see a blue belt, because I can feel you're good. like, so like you see a blue belt. You've burnt blue belts before, right? Yeah, there's some tough blue belts in here right now. Start with that. Like, nah, he's already doing something. Julian, you rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Yeah, start with this ball bastard right here. We got a lot of good balls in here though. And this guy right here, he's scary too. This white belt.
Actually, I got it sliced. I didn't know if you wanted to do that.
You cannot see anything. What is it? Second. Oh yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to.
I will show it. I'm gonna answer these internet questions first, I guess. I can get low. Maybe this is the right height. Stay on my knees like upright. No, thanks for coming. I'm glad. I hope so, man. I was super nervous. That was good. I don't do strength and conditioning. Yeah. If I'm competing, like, here's the complete honest answer. If I'm competing, I do some strength and conditioning, but solely to hate doing it so that I compete hard. I don't think you can improve your strength and conditioning in a real way without constant monitoring and analysis, and you kind of need to be a scientist to do that accurately. So people will do a tournament and they'll be like, oh, I gotta improve my cardio. And it's like, maybe you need to improve your tactics, because to improve your cardio in a way that you can actually measure is difficult. Does that make sense? Like, you'd have to actually like heart rate targeting and all this, so I think that's really hard. But anything that you do that makes you feel like you work too hard to lose will serve you. So I feel both ways about strength and conditioning. It totally sucks and it's really stupid, but it's also awesome.
Like, if you could change anything about what you've done in TJJ up to now, like, what would change?
Yeah, lots. Try harder, please soda. What else? Favorite MMA grappler? Favorite or who's the best? You know, those are different questions. My favorite MMA grappler is Sakura.
Oh, that's the obvious answer.
He's just so fun to watch. Like, and he's a pro wrestler, and I love wrestling. Who's the best? I don't know. Man, there are a lot of people that are really good.
I'll be at the UFC Pittsburgh last time.
Oh yeah? Sorry for the You guys eat Gizmo on the podcast? Yo, Gizmo. Yo, Gizmo. This is the guy right here. This is the man! This is the man! He's safe for what he does. 8 pounds of security right there. You better watch it. He's watching you. Just know, if you come through the door acting reckless, you'll get 8 up. You'll get 8 up. No problems and no qualms about it, you know? That's it. You can't say Damian Maya. I could say Damian Maya. He's super good. I like this dude. Thank you for watching this podcast and participating. Yeah, I can say Damian Maya, but I'm not sure that's accurate. You know, like it's like defining what the best is, right? Like you can argue that he's the best because he really doesn't take any damage. I don't like some of his tactics. I don't like that he uses his cards. That weirds me out. But when you're so good at something, sometimes you can do the wrong thing and have it work out right. So I respect that, dude. But like again, like the best. I think about like the best expression. I really haven't seen a really beautiful expression in a long time. Like maybe since '93. It's been a long time since like really excellent jiu-jitsu. You really got expressed. I love David Ryan. I watch him play. Yeah. If you watch college wrestling especially, it's crazy. It's all leg lock positions and 50-50 and like I've actually learned a lot from watching it recently. I've been doing this like you shoot in on a single on me, you get the single, I let you get the single and I shoot a single on you at the exact same time. Or I'll invert to a single leg type knee bar weird position, you know? Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm doing. It's pretty good.
What's your question?
Last question. It doesn't have to be your last question. You can ask questions all day. Me and Gizmo are here to serve you.
We got about 20 minutes. Go from that building.
If you could only choose 3 techniques to practice for the rest of your life, what would it be? Man, I don't know. I mean, alright, if I only had 3 things that I knew, it would be defending the basic punch, right? Which involves keeping my hands up near my face all the time. I would have that. Because, again, it's important to note though that like I don't really practice jiu-jitsu for myself primarily anymore. I think about practicing jiu-jitsu so that I'm sharp enough to help somebody who feels like they need to know how to defend themselves. So I would say punch in the face, headlock, escape them out. That's it. That would be it. Because those are the things that people are most afraid of, and I want to be able to serve them.
You're like,
Right. So I hope that answered your question without sounding too respect.
thanks a lot.
Don't take my hand. Yeah. Alright, where's Jason?
This one's trapped. It's so good. Just open up. Just lay on the sheet. Eventually, I'll let you know.
What you were doing was the guy had the gloves and stuff, and you were holding on to his ankle, right? And that's buying you some time. But if I let that happen, and you go ahead and do a move, I put my hand like that, pocket, and I pass your guard. That's my counter.
But I'm being hero. There's no way to get out of it.
Hi guys, thank you for tuning in.
There's no way to
Thank Darren Branch and Tracy for having us.
Yeah, you can disengage before you hold on to, but I wanted the situation to work.
jiu-jitsuengineers.com helps us out.
You can see that even if it's complete.
We're also partnering with BJJ Eastern Europe, so check them out. And see you guys soon.